The restaurant was glowing with soft yellow lights, holiday ribbons at every corner, and quiet jazz music drifting in the air. Couples sat close, laughing over warm plates of pasta and wine. It was a perfect place for a romantic evening, except for the woman sitting alone at the small corner table near the window. Her name was Harper Lane. She fiddled with the straw in her glass of water, heart sinking a little more with each minute that passed. She dressed carefully, soft curls, neat lipstick, a dress she hadn't worn in years. She wasn't expecting a fairy tale, but she'd hoped for at least a man who respected time. The blind date was arranged by her friend. "He's a single dad," the friend had told her. "Quiet, sweet, hardworking, just give him a chance." Harper did. But the chair across from her was still empty. 15 minutes late. Then 20. Then 30. People at nearby tables had started whispering. She got stood up. Poor thing. Why do women keep trying these blind dates? Harper forced a smile at the waitress, who kept checking on her with pity in her eyes. "I'm sure he's just running late," the waitress offered gently. Harper nodded, even though she didn't believe it anymore. She checked her phone again. No message. No call. Nothing. She exhaled shakily and reached for her coat. Maybe she could slip out before anyone noticed. That's when the restaurant door burst open with a quiet jingle. Two little girls stood in the doorway, identical twins, about 6 years old, wearing matching red coats, ponytails bouncing, cheeks pink from the cold. They held hands tightly and scanned the restaurant like they were on a mission. A moment later, both sets of eyes landed on Harper. They walked straight to her table. The entire restaurant went silent, curious, confused. The twins stopped right in front of Harper and said in unison, loud and breathless, "Our daddy's sorry he's late." Harper blinked. A few people turned to look around, expecting to see a rushing father behind them. But the girls were alone. The smaller twin stepped forward. "He told us to tell you he had an emergency," she explained. "He didn't want you to think he didn't want you to think he didn't want to come." The other twin lifted a folded paper. "He wrote you a note." Hands shaking slightly, Harper took the paper. Inside, in rushed handwriting, "I'm so sorry. My son had a medical scare and I had to take him to urgent care. Please don't leave. I'll be there in 15 minutes. Ethan." Harper's chest softened. He wasn't ditching her. He wasn't playing games. He was a father dealing with real life. And these two breathless angels standing before her, were his daughters. "Are you Ethan's girls?" Harper asked gently. "Yes," both said proudly. "Daddy told us to find the prettiest lady sitting alone," the taller one continued, "and we knew it was you." The comment made Harper blush so hard she hid her smile behind her hand. A few people laughed softly in admiration, and even the waitress sighed. "Do you want to sit with me until he comes?" Harper asked them. The twins nodded eagerly and climbed into the chairs, knees swinging, excitement bubbling. Harper found herself laughing, really laughing for the first time that evening. They told her their names, Ella and Emma. They told her their daddy liked coffee but pretended to like tea because it made him feel fancy. They told her he worked 2 jobs and always made time to braid their hair before school. "Mommy is in heaven," Emma said softly, tracing the edge of her glass. Harper's heart squeezed. "We miss her every day," Ella added. "But Daddy says, he says God still gives people new beginnings." Harper swallowed the ache rising in her throat. 15 minutes later, the door opened again. This time a tall man rushed in, hair messy from the wind, breathless, coat half-zipped, worry all over his face. His eyes found the twins immediately. "There you two are." Then his gaze landed on Harper. And he froze. She froze too. His eyes, warm honey brown, softened instantly. You waited, he breathed, shoulders sagging with relief. Before Harper could speak, the twins bolted toward him. Daddy, we told her you're sorry. We said she's the prettiest lady. And we didn't let anyone else take her table. He kissed both their foreheads, then approached Harper slowly, like he was afraid to hope. I'm Ethan, he said quietly, and I'm so sorry. Harper saw the panic still lingering in his eyes, the fear that she might think he was irresponsible, or rude, or just not worth her time. It's okay, she said softly. Your children told me everything. He exhaled, visibly relieved. My son had a severe allergic reaction. He's stable now, but I couldn't leave until I knew he was breathing right. Of course, Harper said, you did the right thing. He blinked, shocked by her understanding. Most people, he knew, didn't want the complications of a single parent, especially one with 3 children and a life held together by tired hands and long nights. Can I still sit with you? He asked carefully. Harper smiled. Only if the girls approve. Twin eyes lit up. We approve. We really approve. Ethan laughed, a warm sound Harper felt all the way through. At dinner, Harper noticed everything. How Ethan cut the girls, pasta first before touching his own plate. How he listened when they spoke. How he apologized every time one interrupted, even though Harper didn't mind at all. How the pain of losing his wife showed in the quiet pauses between his words. How his eyes softened when he looked at her. Halfway through the meal, Ella whispered loudly, Daddy, can she be our new friend? Ethan nearly choked on his drink. Harper laughed until her eyes watered. By dessert, the twins were asleep in the booth, curled up against each other. Ethan looked across the table at Harper, voice low, sincere. I haven't felt this peaceful in a long time. Harper's heart fluttered, me neither. He rubbed the back of his neck nervously. If you're willing, I'd really like to see you again, without making you wait next time, I promise. Harper reached across the table and took his hand gently. I'd like that, Ethan. He stared at her hand in his, stunned, like he wasn't used to good things anymore. And Harper realized something too. Sometimes the date worth waiting for comes with 2 little girls who walk into a restaurant and introduce you to the man who might change your life. And that night, under warm lights and sleeping twins, a blind date that almost never happened became the beginning of something neither of them ever expected. A second chance at love.